Hey up guys, welcome back. In this video, we take a look inside the box of Zvezda's brand new release, their 48 scale KA-52 Alligator. Now, spoiler, I took a quick peek and the detail looks fantastic. So let's go ahead, switch the camera and take a look inside the box. So here it is. I mentioned it in my recent bench update, and it arrived actually very quickly. So I ordered it from Model in Poland, and standard shipping, airmail shipping, and I got it in about a week. So super fast. And here it is, the Alligator. Got myself a 48 scale Alligator. Now, I know it's a Russian subject, and it's going to trigger some people in the comments. I'll just say that, hey, this is a plastic model kit. I'm just going to review it upon a model kit. If you're anti one way or the other, you can always do this as a shot down version in Ukraine, because there's tons of reference materials to show that. That disclaimer out the way, we'll get on with this. Well, this Stop War sticker has been applied by the company in Poland over the Zvezda label, so that wasn't me, that's how it came. Now we will get the politics out of the way and we'll get into the model kit. So, Russian combat air helicopter KA-52 Alligator, 48 scale, interesting looking aircraft, and I think we definitely need one in 48 scale. Zvezda does do one in 72nd from a few years ago, I believe. Now, if I just tilt this a little bit to get the glare off, you can see it's a pretty big box, this. It's going to be 33 centimeters long, so not massive. As always, in helicopters, it's the rotors that cause the problem with storage. Kit 4830, it's running around the box here. I do have this one actually, the SU-25, have the Edward boxing on this. We have a couple more helicopters in 48 scale of Russian persuasion, and there we go. So the Quinta Studios is bringing out a few different cockpit sets for this of various details and levels. So if you are buying this and you're getting it pretty soon, you might want to hang on a couple more weeks and get that Quinta Studio set. Because being a helicopter, I think you can see quite a lot inside there with all this glass work. So let's open the box and see what we got going on in here. And immediately, it's not much. So I think Zvezda probably have standard size boxing, but if you see here, in terms of shipping and whatnot, you could actually reduce this box by probably, I don't know, 8 centimeters, maybe 5 centimeters, to make it smaller. So the box isn't quite as packed as some kits. Nevertheless, we do have the color callouts. We'll look at in a minute, the instructions, clear parts. Okay. Looking pretty thick, but we'll look at those in a minute. And I am excited to look at this because before we pick the plastic up, the SU-25 was actually very nicely detailed. Normally Zvezda is pretty plain on a detail in terms of rivets and stuff. So let's take a quick glance at this. Off the bat, it does look pretty nicely detailed. Again, we'll look at this closer. So one bag here and a bigger bag there, and here you get an idea of the size itself, the length of it. Not massive by any means. So I'll put these to the... Actually, let me take the whole box out of the way so we can actually look at this in a little bit more detail. Now, this isn't out in the US or Europe yet, I don't think. So if you go to Eastern Europe on eBay, or actually I found it a lot cheaper, like I said, on Model, you can get it a lot quicker. So first of all, the instructions. We have two versions. We have version 1 and 2. Immediately from looking at that, I'm not sure the difference. I'm guessing it's just maybe the decals. Okay, and okay, so we have decals put inside the box. We'll look at it in a min. And we have the sprue call out. So again, just F. So what we got: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sprues, 5 more clear parts. And then we get straight in here with the cockpit detail. Now, Zvezda kits are normally pretty good. They go together pretty well. So we actually have the pilot figures too, which is a nice touch. Identical, 2 figures the same. I'm sure there'll be resin figures coming out also. Again, we'll look at the quality of the plastic in a minute to see if this is something, like if it's chewed up gum or if it actually looks pretty good. I'm not sure. Building cockpit tub out, as I mentioned before, if you wait for Zvezda, for Quinta Studios, you'll be able to get all nice 3D printed stuff for this. Okay, so I'm just checking. So there's 2 versions. I'm not keeping like 1 and 2, right? And then, yeah, on this page it says make calls for versions 2 and 3. So, I only see 2 versions in here. Yeah, version 1 or 2. So maybe that's a typo here, unless they're bringing out another boxing of this. I'm not sure, but yeah, there is no free versions as far as I see. There's two. Anyway, so that's a little typographical error there, maybe. Drilling some holes, make sure you drill your holes before you put the stuff together. And it just basically the cockpit detail gets sandwiched between the fuselage parts. Looks like some basic rotor assembly going on in terms of detail. And the top part goes on here. Just reading here, it's not sure. I don't speak Russian, but I'm seeing what it's saying here. It looks like it's like scribing lines, maybe. Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe it's. Oh, you know what? It's selling tools. So they've got sprue cutters, knives, and whatever that guy is. I'm guessing maybe like a scriber, and that's the part numbers. I'm guessing. All right, then version A and B. Okay, we see a lot of difference here on the outside pylon. It's the ordnance difference between the model armament versions. So we got different. Tough call for me. I think I kind of like this guy better than this, but who knows? So okay, looking through here, so we have yeah, that's the difference between the two. Building the pylons, the winglets, tails, cannon, various other parts. Again, I'm sure companies such as ResiKit will come out with resin stuff for all this. Some lumps and bumps going on here. The wheels. I guess it needs a big giant fuel tanks going on. Again, some more detail going for the rotor. And we've got makes me nervous, but got some some part handles and stuff going on inside the clear parts. So make sure you use some PVA glue, not necessarily Tamra extra things. You might create some plastic here, so be careful with that. Clear parts going on. What else we got here? The rotor assemblies going on. Got some rockets. Again, depending if you're using version A and B, I guess, is the difference here from early on. So you can build one or the other. As it mentions here. And a bunch of stencils. And that's how I tell you how to do your stencils. Okay, this is not the easiest to follow for stencils. I mean, it's just very small, right? There's no, you just have to really kind of see the placement here. But okay. So there's the instructions. It looks pretty simple based upon that. The decals next up. Nice shark mouth. And actually, the instrument panels actually look quite nice. So that's not too bad at all. If you're just going to use the decals. And tons of these little tiny little stencils. As you see, I'm guessing that's the for the canopy, like the deck cord, like you get on a Harrier. So not too bad. Oh, looking at this though, all of these are one decal. So all these little tiny guys are one decal. So it makes it easier in one way, but also you can have a bunch of film you have to take care of too. Make sure you get no silvering and stuff. But anyway, there's the decal sheet. All right, so I'm just looking at this. I think it doesn't matter which. I don't think it's like necessary. This one's like version A, and you have to use version A armament, and then this is B. I think you can use. They're interchangeable, so you could do whatever version you want, whichever scheme you want. I'm guessing, but again, I'm not an expert on the KA-52. You might want to look at your reference material, but this one definitely is. This is the more popular one I've seen. Like images of. You got shark's mouth. You got this kind of camo scheme going, and looking pretty good. And this is more of your kind of darker, kind of like that, like eggplant kind of color. Which is interesting too. I actually have a bottle of MRP in this color. I've had it for years. I've never used it. Actually, I could grab it real quick out my drawer and show you which color it is. It is, as I rifle through my paint drawers, it is this color, I believe, which is MRP 205, which is eggplant dark gray. Give it a little shake. So I think that's the color for that one. Might be wrong, but bear in mind I'm colorblind, so I could be completely wrong. But I think that's the color for that scheme. Which you could probably get some good, interesting. You could really weather that down probably with some dark gray and stuff. Anyway, so they're the colors and clear parts in a little Ziploc baggie. They seem a little thick on the surface, but actually looking at them, they're actually fine, no problem at all. I can zoom in a little bit now. And look, you see under the mat, my dirty mat, there's no distortion, actually very nice. Some nice detail on there too. You can see, again, the kind of deck chord engraved on there, and we have a decal kind of go over that. But yeah, no problems at all with those. Now we're into the 2 bags of plastic. All right, so let's start with a smaller bag first. And you have 3 sprues. Nice Zvezda plastic. For a start, we'll look at the fuselage sides, and off the bat, lovely detail, raised detail, and recessed detail. Very nice indeed. And also each half's essentially the same, but there you go. It's the other side. And if you see the tail there, you can get an idea. This does have rivets. And along here too, mixture of raised and recessed. So yeah, very cool. That's a nice sprue. Happy with that one. This is your winglets and your cockpit tub by the look of it. Very nice indeed. Again, the detail. Catch it in light so you can see it. And the pylons. Again, really nicely detailed. Oh, these parts here too, I just noticed tons of rivets, all raised rivets on here. And you can see that's reminiscent of the Armour Hobby Hurricane, the 48 scale, the detail. Very nice indeed. So yeah, very good. So far, pretty impressive. And again, just to see the size of this, my cutting mat, it's kind of worn off now, but lines wise, yeah, this part is running about 27 centimeters long, which I don't have inches on this, but it's about 11 inches, I'm guessing, in size. So yeah, not too massive at all. And this part here looks like we've got various smaller components of the rotor and other parts too. Again, the detail is absolutely fantastic there. And you see the grills, catch it in light. No flash at all. These tiny little parts here, everything's molded very, very nicely. So that first bag is definitely a winner. Now we're on to the bigger second bag. So excuse the crinkling. All right, so again, the detail. Wow, look at that. All these fine lines. I'm hoping it picks up on the camera okay and you can see this. You can't always see it when I edit these guys sometimes, lighting, but it's afternoon time, so it should come out pretty well. Wait, so I think that's the upper side. I'm guessing this is the lower side. So that's the top, this is the bottom. Again, that detail. That is really, really nice. The nose, a very distinctive kind of duck nose. And all the rest of the gubbins on here looking very good indeed. Again, these parts, you see the detail. Let's lay it out for you a little bit. Zoom out. Ejection pin wise, again, nothing really. I don't see much. There's a few here, a little bit raised, might need to sand down, but they're all out of the way. I see no real problems with anything. Again, the detail there. And this guy is pretty impressive. Very cool. And next up, the last two actually match pair. We have 2 sprues exactly the same. So we'll just look at one of them, obviously. And these are your blades. So again, the blades aren't too big at all either, really. So let me see the size of this. So it's about just over 13 centimeters. So it's not going to be massive. Like some of these helicopters, massive rotors, this is going to be probably like less than a foot wide, I'd say, in terms of rotor bladage. But you got your blades there, you got your fuel tanks, again, really nicely detailed. Your wheels have a little bit of detail on, nothing too much going on there. Again, all these other little parts, really nice. Very, very nice. And oh, here's the figure. So we got the figure, the pants you're not really going to see. You got the chest, which is very nicely detailed. And let me see if I can zoom in a little bit here. And where's the head? Oh, where are we at here? Sorry, I was trying to find where I'm on the camera. Zoom back out a little bit here so I can see. There we go. And there's the head. Let me just look at it. Actually really nicely detailed. I'm looking here off the camera so I can see closer to my face. But that looks really good. So yeah, the figures look pretty good as well. Figures look good. Rotor blades again, nice little detail in there. Again, not sure it's gonna pick it up on the camera. Very recessed panel lines. Got your wheels, like I mentioned, your seats. Pretty plain, but if you're gonna put your pilot on there, you're not gonna worry about it too much. And there we go. And that is it. We've gone through all those sprues. Not there's too much in the kit, but let me bring the box back in. And there we go. This is, again, the Zvezda Alligator, the KA-52 48 scale. Now, I will say, you pretty much echo what I've said the last 15 minutes. It's a really nicely detailed kit. Zvezda's definitely stepped this thing up the last couple of years with a detail. They've always had nice fitting kits, but sometimes missed, in terms of rivets and that kind of stuff on them. But I was very impressed with the SU-25, and this is nearly a step up. I would say, from looking at this plastic and the quality, it's on a par with the Armor Hobby Hurricane in 48 scale in terms of detail. It is really well detailed. It's nicely molded, and there's no problems at all from looking at it. Hopefully it goes together well, and if you just want to take it that step further, again, you got the Quintus Studio stuff coming out very soon. I'm sure res kits can come out with resin, rotor, like assembly stuff, and I hope that's the right definition. I'm not a helicopter guy, but I think it's a rotor assembly and various other components to wheels. A little bit bland, but again, that's not a major part of the model, but I'm sure there'll be tons of aftermarket for this. So for me, for the price, I think it's retails around about $50. I think it's a worthwhile kit for your stash. Again, not many alligators out there. If you like helicopters, from what I've seen here, I highly recommend this kit. So thank you for watching as always. If you haven't done so already, please hit the subscribe button. It really helps me out, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.